Loktar Hogar. Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, everyone's favorite orc warrior, and it's time for another orc mode workout. Today was just kind of a normal workout again, guys. It's Friday, it's my last day benching. Squatting was tough today, so again, I stuck with just a hair lighter. I ended up going 455 for my peak single. Instead of trying to hit 475, 485, any of that, and the reason for that, we know that when you're training heavy singles, the evidence over the years has pointed out going above 90% doesn't actually produce any better strength gains. You still hit the same threshold fibers. No point in beating myself up further. I'm already doing multiple sets of heavy squats every day. I'm deadlifting every day. Well, at least 6 days a week. We don't count that 7th day off. So there's no point in just beating myself into the ground, particularly with this back off work. Because especially these pause squats are harder. Oh, I did include the grip work today. Someone said, oh man, you put grip work in the title yesterday and it's not in there. Yeah, I didn't record the grip work and I forgot to edit it out of the template I have for the titles for these. So I included some today, and I did some double overhand grip PR because I just wanted to see actually what I was capable of doing. So that's going to be at the very end. But the squatting was, again, it's tough today. This has been a tough program to follow, and once you start adding back off work in, it gets harder. And a lot of people are like, why don't you do this, why don't you do that, just to hurry up and get to a certain number? Because guys, this is about the long game. This is about the long game. My squat goal is to get to 500 as a training max by the end of the year, which means I need to be doing it multiple days every week. I've got 4.5 months left, or is it longer than that? Yeah. I mean, we got time, guys. 4.5 months. Let's keep gaining strength. Do the extra volume. I'll get there. You know, I've penciled in a soft goal of 600 for a hook grip deadlift. So, we're just setting those goals. And those are kind of loose goals, some of those. That one's my main one. My other goal is to be down to 220 or lighter by the end of the year. Some people ask me, how's that going, guys? My weight's just kind of chilled. I haven't dropped below 234, and I'm halfway between DEXA scans. So I'm down 5 pounds since the DEXA scan. But I had also dropped 12 pounds since I started this program before even doing the DEXA scan. So as of right now, I'm halfway to the next DEXA scan. I'm only down 5. And quite frankly, I don't mind only losing 10 pounds every 3 months. Because as long as I'm making progress and gaining strength, I know I'm gaining muscle while I'm recomping. Again, it's about the long game. As long as we see the body fat and the body weight just slowly coming down, just through lifestyle changes that I can totally live with, I'm cool with that. So I mean, the goal is this one to be, hopefully 230 or lighter, and then 220 or lighter on the DEXA scan after that. Yeah, that's very slow weight loss, but that's fine. Because it's easy to do it that way, and I can focus on my training, and all I have to do is slightly restrict my eating and just eat a cleaner diet and more protein. That makes it easy to do. So that's what I'm doing. But yeah, guys, these beltless pause squats, the back off, they're tough right now. I'm not going to lie. But they're going to get the job done. That's what's going to bring my squat up right there. Stuff like that to get my quads stronger so that they quit being weak in my squat. That's going to sort it out. And yeah, those deep pauses with no belt, even with 365, they're hard. Like, they're hard. I'm not gonna lie. These are, to me, just as hard as doing my training max. So, they are what they are. You get that pause, drive it up. And again, no belt. So it's like I'm having to force myself to try to stay tight in the hole. Having to stay tight down at the bottom because I don't have a way to create that intra-abdominal pressure against the belt. And then I've got to use my quads to drive out of the bottom because the quads are held stretched down at the bottom. Very effective. And then that way I'm still able to do a back squat that's going to carry over to the mechanics of my normal back squat. Even though it's a different exercise, it's a very specific accessory. That's not even an accessory, that is an assistance movement. But I'm using it for my volume training because, again, it's easier to recover from and it's brutally hard. My axial loading is getting pretty high by doing a heavy squat and a heavy deadlift 6 days a week. So that's going to be easier for me to recover from because I'm forced to use a lighter weight, but I still get the muscle fiber recruitment and the motor pattern. So it's good stuff. And any sort of pause work, raw pause work is tough. And it's working on the bench too. Like today, my benching was easy. We're definitely going to increase it next week. Both the training max and the back off work is going to be increased. I'm going to do another 2.5 pounds because today is my 5th day in a row benching with the heavy set and the back offs, and it was light. Like the 322.5, that was absolutely not my training max. Even 5 days in a row benching, I'm not fatigued. I'm getting stronger doing this. It's not my training max. You guys will notice when I get to it, it's the set after this warm up. It's obviously not hard, and I do a nice long pause, do a full 1 count pause, so I count 1/1000, then drive it off my chest. It's just, yeah, it's getting easier. So this back off work is really, really working. And a lot of that had to do with building that base, going ahead and building some of that upper back up using rows before I got heavier into my deadlifts as frequently, doing a bunch of volume of overhead pressing, doing the press. I think really prepared my shoulder girdle for me to handle the higher volume benching that I knew I would need to start pushing my bench press up. Because yeah, my bench is low right now, and it needs to come up, but it is coming up. It's coming up now, and this is easy. And I'm doing it without having to gain weight. I'm not having to bulk. I'm not having to blast gear. And that's kind of important for me right now. And people will say, well, Jason, you could. Well, you know what? I could just go blast some later. But if I can make progress without doing it, why do it? Why spend the money? Why mess up my cholesterol? I can stay in the normal testosterone range just fine for now. I'm making progress. Yeah, I can make faster progress the other way. It's just not necessary right now. This is working just fine. So that being said, the fact that it's just more volume on my benching is really all I needed to do. And doing these back off sets with pause work. So this 3x3 every day as a back off, that ends up giving me, for the 5 days I bench, 15 sets of back off work to go with my 5 heavy training maxes every week. So that effectively gives me, if we look at the math on that, 20 sets of bench, 5 heavy singles, 15 heavy triples, and trying to do long pauses and be explosive. And I'm keeping it with a closed grip. Some would call this a medium grip. It depends on your terminology. Honestly, it depends on the coach as to which they would define it. I'll still count it as closed grip, but I don't bench wide grip either anyways. I'm just not a fan. Yeah, you can get sometimes more weight, but I think it's detrimental to the shoulders. And I think you build more strength and more overall muscle with a narrower grip. And it's just safer. It's easier on your shoulders. But yeah, these all flew up. These were easy today. Like every single set of bench today on my 5th day benching, final day benching of the week, it was actually wasn't challenging. It wasn't difficult. I mean, yeah, I had to exert effort to explode the weight maximally, and I felt everything work hard, but it's just falling into the groove. So tomorrow's going to be press day instead of benching, and you know, Monday comes around, we'll increase the weight, and I have a feeling it's going to feel light. It's going to feel light, a 2.5 pound bump. And so if that feels light all next week, we'll do the same thing next week and the same thing next week. You know, we'll be doing 330 every day within a couple weeks, few weeks, I don't know, whatever. And my back off work will probably be at 290 then. Yeah, it wasn't challenging. Hook grip. I decided because I tore my skin on my thumb the other day and I still had to tape it today because I was bleeding. I went light on the hook grip training today. It's like, well, I'm going to pull heavier tomorrow with straps. This is just going to be kind of a grip training day. So I stopped at 485 on the hook grip. And it's fine. It worked good. Everything was fine. Just training the hook grip. It's fine. Not worried about it. Because I also hit a hook grip PR this week, but I ended up tearing the skin on my thumb that day. And actually, I found chunks of that skin on the bar the next day when I went to squat. It was still on the bar because it's my squat bar also. I have 2 different bars, but I use this one for squat, bench, and deadlift. It's my power bar. I do pressing and Olympic lifts and curls and all that stuff with the other bar, with my Olympic bar. So I like this one though because it's a stiffer bar and it gets less whip and it stays seated on my back better on squats. It's stiffer for the deadlift, so it makes it harder instead of a whippy bar. It's harder. You can basically, it makes the weight feel 10 pounds heavier. And that's good because if your weakness is off the floor, you need to be able to explode off the floor. Yeah, the 485 was fine. So then I decided, you know, I had a subscriber challenge me, hey, do you think you could double overhand 405? And I'm like, I don't know. Let me try. I bet I can. So I loaded 405 up. I pulled it double overhand to some grip work. Now, the bar did start to roll, and for those who don't understand why double overhand is difficult, bar roll gets you. And I have good bearings in these, so these plates spin really freely on these bars. Again, that's what happens when you have decent bars. It makes it even harder. Unbent bar, good bearings, it rolls really easy. The bar started to roll, so, you know, again, I couldn't hold it a long time. So I'm like, what the hell? Let me go up 10 more pounds, man. I'm competitive, guys. I got the 405 that someone challenged me to do. So I'm like, let me try 415. I need the grip work anyways. And nothing but net. Started to roll a little bit, so I had to set it down, but I locked it and held it. All right, guys. But that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.